Will Hunting had a rough childhood. He was an orphan and was placed in many foster homes around Boston. His foster father was an abusive alcoholic who burned him with cigarettes and beat him with wrenches. After going through juvenile correction systems, he now lives alone and works as a janitor at MIT. His identity and intelligence was discovered after he solved a complex mathematical equation that was posed as an extra credit assignment for the MIT students. Gerald Lambeau, an MIT professor, had to bail him out of jail and realized Will was more than a janitor. He was a genius. It was clear Will had troubles and needed help. After being sent to many psychologists, he finally accepted Lambeau's friend Sean McGuire. Sean used psychoanalytical therapy to help Will realize his true potential. Will is stubborn, arrogant, defensive, and hot-headed. According to Freudians, his behavior would be seen as an id/superego conflict. The id impulse would be to resist and fight back, but the superego says that the older man is the authority figure and needs to be respected. This conflict forced Will to accept his punishments, but voluntarily taking the hardest abuse. To cope with the abuse, Will developed Freud's defense mechanisms. He insults and fights those who try to help him. However, his behavior is only expressed when dealing with people he has just met, especially men. Although he is aggressive, he is very protective of women and his friends. He uses his intelligence to prove his dominance over men who attempt to display their authority, which he was unable to do to his foster father. Will also uses displacement, projection, and repression as a form of defense. He is enraged when people ask about his past, and he protects himself from having to retell and relive the abuse. This makes it difficult for Will to have normal relationships, especially with his girlfriend. However, in the end, through many sessions of therapy, Sean and Will develop a strong, supportive relationship.
What is that?
This is your file. I have to send it back to the judge for evaluation.
Oh. Hey, you're not gonna fail me, are you? What's it say?
Want to read it?
Why? Have you had any, experience with that?
20 years of counseling. Yeah, I've seen some pretty awful shit.
I mean, have you had any experience with that?
Personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Sure ain't good.
My father was an alcoholic. Mean fucking drunk. He'd come home hammered, looking to wail on somebody. So I'd provoke him so he wouldn't go after my mother and little brother. Interesting nights were when he wore his rings.
Yeah, he used to just put a wrench, a stick, and a belt on the table and just say choose.
Well, I gotta go with the belt there, Vanna.
I used to go with the wrench.
Why the wrench?
Because fuck him, that's why.
Your foster father.
Yeah. So, you know, what is it, like, Will has an attachment disorder? Is it all that stuff? Fear of abandonment? Is that why I broke up with Skylar?
I didn't know you had.
Yeah, I did.
You want to talk about it?
No.
Hey, Will. I don't know a lot. You see this? All this shit. This is not your fault. Look at me, son. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
I know.
No, you don't. It's not your fault.
I know.
It's not your fault.
All right.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me. It's not your fault.
Don't fuck with me, all right? Don't fuck with me, Sean, not you.
It's not your fault.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Fuck them, okay?
Yeah?
Yeah. That's it. So I think I had a class with you.
Oh yeah? What class?
History.
Maybe.
Yes, I think that's what it was. You don't necessarily might not remember me. You know, I like it here. It doesn't mean because I go here I'm a genius. I am very smart. Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Good, how you doing?
You want it?
What class did you say that was?
History. Yeah.
Just history? It must have been a survey course then, huh?
Yeah, it was. It was surveys.
Right.
You should check it out. It's a good course. It'd be a good class.
How'd you like that course?
You know, frankly, I found the class, you know, rather elementary.
Elementary. You know, I don't doubt that it was.
Yeah.
I remember that class. It was just between recess and lunch.
Clark, why don't you go away?
Why don't you relax?
Why just go away?
I'm just having fun with my new friend, that's all.
But we could have a problem?
No,
I don't understand.
there's no problem here. I was just hoping you might give me some insight into the evolution of the market economy in the southern colonies. My contention is that prior to the Revolutionary War, the economic modalities, especially in the southern colonies, could most aptly be characterized as agrarian pre-capital.
All right, of course that's your
Hang on a
contention.
second.
You're a first-year grad student. You just got finished reading some Marxian historian, Pete Garrison probably. You're gonna be convinced of that till next month when you get to James Lemon. Then you're gonna be talking about how the economies of Virginia and Pennsylvania were entrepreneurial and capitalist way back in 1740. That's gonna last until next year. You're gonna be in here regurgitating Gordon Wood, talking about, you know, the pre-revolutionary utopia and the capital-forming effects of military mobilization.
As a matter of fact, I won't, because Wood drastically underestimates the impact of social
Wood drastically underestimates the impact of social distinctions predicated upon wealth, especially inherited wealth. You got that from Vickers. Work in Essex County, page 98, right? Yeah, I read that too. Were you gonna plagiarize the whole thing for us? Do you have any thoughts of your own on this matter? Or is that your thing? You come into a bar, you read some obscure passage, and then pretend you pawn it off as your own idea just to impress some girls? Embarrass my friend? See, the sad thing about a guy like you is in 50 years, you're gonna start doing some thinking on your own, and you're gonna come up with the fact that there are two certainties in life. One, don't do that. And two, you dropped 150 grand on a fucking education you could have got for $1.50 in late charges at the public library.
Yeah, but I will have a degree. And you'll be serving my kids fries at a drive-thru on our way to a skiing trip.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but at least I won't be unoriginal. But I mean, if you have a problem like that, I mean, we could just step outside. We could figure it out.
Oh man, there's no problem. It's cool.
It's cool?
Yeah.
Cool.
Fucking damn right it's cool. How you like me now? My boy's wicked smart.